Welcome to Statics. Hi, this is Quentin McCrae. I'm going to be your teacher this semester. I wanted to take a minute and do what I would normally do, say, on the first day of class in an in-person class, and just kind of walk through the class, walk through what is expected, walk through um, what's going to happen, and give everyone kind of a sense of what to expect and what's going to go on. So let's start here. We have the class website. I'm on. You'll notice here it says student. I'm on a student view. I think this looks as close as I can to what your guys's looks like. It might be slightly different. So, but this is as good as I can get. So you go to our homepage, and you got the homepage. Welcome to Statics. Let's go through this page, and this is where the bulk of the, especially the online course, this is where you're going to need to go. So let's start here with the syllabus tab. Here on the syllabus tab, you'll find it does, for some reason, Canvas thinks of syllabus being the schedule. And so fair enough, there's the schedule. But here is the syllabus for the class, and here is the schedule for the class. Let's click on the syllabus tab, or on the syllabus, and let's actually look over this real quick. Okay, so you can go through and you can look at this yourself, but I wanted to hit a few things. Okay, again, I'm Quentin McCrae. This is my email address here. My office hours. These might change slightly, but basically my office hours are going to be around noon time. But you're welcome to come anytime. I have a quote unquote open door policy. I say quote unquote because I actually keep my door closed because it's just unsettling to me to have my back to an open door. But come anytime, and you can just knock on the door. I will have my class schedule posted outside my door. So if it's during a class time, I definitely won't be there. The difference with my office hours, I'll just make a much more concerted effort to not kind of wander off and talk to some other teacher or something during that time. But you can come anytime. That's fine. Objectives. This goes through here. You're going to learn statics. This class is all about statics. Now, statics is one of those classes that is just an extremely important baseline to start building from. You're going to start going to dynamics. So statics specifically, it's kind of a prereq for kind of two different paths. You got the dynamics path, right? So the forces of things once you start rotating and moving is going to be dynamics. And then the other path is the strengths of materials, figuring out how when things fail or when how strong a structure can be and whatnot. That's going to be the base. Statics is going to be a starting point for that. The way this class is laid out. Okay, here's the way this class is laid out. We have homework. There's basically three things, right? You're going to have homework, you're going to have some online quizzes, and you're going to have some exams. Okay, so I'm going to go through and talk about each one. The homework assignments. The homework assignments are going to be worth 15% of your grade. Okay, they're all from the ninth edition of the book. I don't care which edition of the book you get, because if you go to the homework assignments, and here we'll bring over here, come under modules or assignments. Just for giggles, let's go to modules, because it's going to be how you're going to do it. You're going to come here. Here's the ninth edition homework. Okay, so do the homework from this. If you have the 8th edition or 10th edition or any other edition, that's fine, but do the homework from the ninth edition that is posted here. You will notice that it's just the pages that have the homework assignments. So I don't remember exactly which one is assigned here, but here are all the pages that have the homework assignments. So do the homework assignments from this right here. It's going to be worth 15% of your grade. Basically, you just need to do it. You have access to the solutions, and I'll show you right now where the solutions are here. The reason I did this is because I know everyone, you have Chegg, you have other options to find the solution, so I'm just going to make it available to everyone. Here are the solutions. Okay, you can click on the solutions. What I need you to do, what I need you to turn in, is a good faith effort on every problem. I'm not going to grade it for right or wrong. I'm not going to go through and check your answers. You are responsible for that, right? So you come here, and here's the first one. If it comes up, come on, you can do it. There we go. So there's the first one that we're going to do, right? Here's a question. Here's the solution. I'm going to expect that you check the solution. So I'm not going to go through and check the solutions on each one, but I will go through and make sure that you do each one. So make your homework clear, make it easy to understand, easy to follow, and put in a good faith effort. Now, having said that, putting this as putting just that the start of the homework assignment and then not doing it will not get you credit for it. You need to actually do the homework assignment. And you'll notice this is 15% of your grade. It's not that big chunk of your grade. So A, it should be a free 15% of your grade, right? Everyone should be able to get that, no problem. But more important, you need to do it because without it, you will not be able to do the rest of the stuff in the class. The homework is absolutely necessary. It's your practice. It's how you're going to learn how to do these problems. So that's the homework assignments. Now, as far as due dates, you go through and if you look, we'll bring up the schedule in a minute, but when you're going to look at on Canvas, there's going to be due dates associated with the homework. Those due dates are to help you kind of keep track of where you should be. The way I would expect it is I expect your homework to be turned in at the time of the test. Okay, so you're going to go into the testing center, you're going to take the test. You're going to bring in a wad of papers. You're going to bring in, so for most of the tests are going to be over 2 chapters. We'll talk about that in a minute. And so I'd expect the 2 homework assignments from those 2 chapters turned in at the same time as your test. Now, you can turn it in digitally. You can turn it in through Canvas. I do not, let me repeat, I do not want, 18 pictures from your iPhone of the homework problems, okay? That I would rather you just turn it in the physical papers at the time of the test. If, however, if you have a good scanner, if you have something so that you can have a PDF file that contains all your homework assignment, that's great. Turn it in digitally, that's all good. I will grade both. It will say late if you turn it in. I think, if you turn the chapter 2 and chapter 3 in at the same time, it'll squawk at you saying that chapter 2 is late. Don't worry about that. That's fine. But you have to turn in the homework by the time of the test. For real practical reasons, you just won't be able to do well on the test if you don't have the homework. So don't try to turn the homework late. Do it at the time of the test. So that is the homework assignments. Okay, quizzes. A few words on the quizzes. There's a quiz for every chapter except for chapter 1. Chapter 1 is just kind of a real quick introduction, but beyond that, there's a quiz for every chapter. They're going to be worth 20 points. You take them wherever it is that you take them. Now, here's the way it's going to work. There's unlimited time, but the due date is fixed. Okay, and so you can take it. You can start it. I would suggest starting it right in the beginning of this chapter. Just start it. Look at it so you can start seeing the problems, so that there's no surprises what to expect. Right. You'll have 2 chances to go through the quiz. Okay. After the first quiz, you'll see your score, but you won't, and it'll show you which problems are right and which ones are wrong, but it won't give you the answers. You're not going to see that, I put in 8 and the answer should have been 7. It'll just tell you if it's right or wrong. My intent here is that you can go through and look at them and say, hey, okay, did I make just a dumb mistake? Is it just a math mistake? 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. Or did I not understand it? And so if you made a dumb mistake, you can fix it. If you didn't understand it, then you need to look at it again and try to figure it out. It'll take the highest of the 2 scores. So if you ace it the first time, good, knock yourself out. You don't need to take it again. That's fine. But the one thing that is a little bit obnoxious, because of the technology for these quizzes, I will not give you an extension. So when you come in here, I think I click on quizzes right here. You're going to have these due dates. They tend to be due on Sunday nights before the week. You can do them anytime before that, right? So when you go to the quizzes, you will not get an extension. So I will drop the lowest quiz score. And that's so if your cat dies and something bad happens and you're going to take the quiz and you couldn't take the quiz, your internet connection drops, whatever happens, I'm sympathetic to that. But I will not give you an extension. So start it early and know that the worst case scenario, it'll drop the lowest quiz score. Now, the reason I'm not going to give you an extension, it's not because I'm trying to be hard-nosed. It's because the way it's going to work at a certain time. So here, you look at Chapter 2 quiz, right? It's available September 6th is when it's due. So you're going to come here, you're going to take the quiz. You click on take the quiz, you go through and you do it. And then I could go through, put in a bunch of numbers. Some of them are multiple choice. Most of them are going to put in numbers, right? But what's going to happen is you'll see your grade, but you won't know right or wrong. I do not post solutions for the quiz. It'll just take a semester and they're out to everyone, and I don't want that. But after the due date, you can look at the quiz and you can see the correct answer. So if you put in 10.5, you can see that the correct answer was 9.5, or it was 10.5 if you got it right. So please go through and look at it after the due date and see what you did wrong, or see it is not beyond me to make mistakes. It's possible that there's something in there. I think I've got them all ironed out, but if there's something that you feel like you did right, and you feel like your answer should be right, and it's different than the grade, or the numbers that are shown to be correct, let me know. Either send me an email or come talk to me in my office, and we'll go through it. Uh, Again, it's not that it's not possible that I've made mistakes, and hopefully we can find any that are there. I think I've got them all ironed out. But come talk to me and let me know what's going on there. So that's the quizzes. Each quiz. So again, I would suggest that early on go through. Now you can the way Canvas works, you can do this. You can come in here. You don't have to submit the quiz. You can just go on and do other things, and then you can come back to it later. So if I click on here, quizzes. Yep, I'm going to navigate away from it. That's fine. It saves it. It's going to save where you're at. And then I'm going to come in here to, say, the next chapter, which is not chapter 5. But, okay, you can come in here and I can look at these quizzes. So if I come in here, you'll notice I put in a number of 15 or 45.6. I don't even know what it's asking, so I'm not. If that's the right answer, good for me. And I come in here and I say 10, and I come, do these different things. Then if I navigate away from it, if I, again, boom, it's going to save it, and then I think it's going to save it. I know it'll save it for you guys. I don't know what it's going to do on my system. And then I can come back and I can look at it later. This is going to, resume quiz. So I can go through and I can resume it, and it has my answer still in it from the last time. Okay, so that's the quizzes. Here's the kind of big picture idea. Homework should be easy, 15%. That should be a gimme. Quizzes is going to be a little bit more challenging. You have time, and you have open book, open resources, but it's a little harder because you don't have the answers. And then finally, we're going to have exams. So here's the deal on exams. There's going to be 4 exams, each worth 100 points, and an optional final. I'll talk about that in a minute. You're going to be allowed to use a 3x5 card of notes as you take the exam. That is not because you're going to find the magic answers in the book. It's quite frankly to make you study, to make you decide what you think is the most important parts, to kind of highlight the things that you consider the most important from the homework and from the chapters. The homework or the exam problems will be very similar, and sometimes, quite frankly, even I'll just gratuitously steal a homework problem. In general, and this will become more obvious as we get into like chapters 3 and 4 and 5, some of the a little bit later chapters. A lot of the problems I just steal straight from homework problems that we haven't done in class. So if you go through and do all 200 problems and you know how to do all the problems in the homework assignment, you deserve an A, and I'm all for that. I'm all for you acing the exam, making it super easy. That's a whole lot of problems, and so good for you. But in general, the point being is I'm not going to try to trick you. I'm not going to try to go through and do something radically different than what you've seen. So what I would suggest is when you're doing homework, or when you're preparing for the exams, do the homework. Get really comfortable with the homework. Get where you can do the homework just kind of really without thinking, that it's just kind of a natural thing, and it's you can go through and do every problem. If you can do that well, then you should do well on the exams. As far as the optional exam, here's the way I'm going to work it. If you take the optional final, it will count for your grade. So if you do poorly, it will hurt your grade. If you do well, it'll help your grade. That's not just to be obnoxious. If you come in with the final thing, and it's not going to hurt me, might as well take it, you're not going to do well. And by far the hardest tests to grades for me are the ones that you don't do well. So you're not getting anything out of it because you're not going to do well. You're not really studying for it. It's a huge pain for me because I have to grade a super hard test because you didn't do very well. You just took a half-baked effort at it. And so the deal is, if you're going to take it, good, I will grade it, and it's going to count for your towards your grade. The way it will count, what I will do is I will, excuse me, I will take your lowest test score, and I will average it with your final exam. So if you had, say, 3 80s and a 50 on your test. For some reason you had a really bad day and you had a 50 on one test, and then you aced the final. What I will do is I will replace that 50 with the average of 50 and 100, which would be 75. So I will go through and I will replace the lowest test score with the average of the other two tests. I'll put notes in there so you'll be able to see what's going on. But that's how the final exam, the optional final exam, will work. Okay, on the syllabus, excuse me, a few other things. The ADA and DRC, if you have any, if you're dealing with the Disability Resource Center, please let me know, because it's, I don't know, polite, I'm trying to think of the right word. Let me know, but more importantly, you have to go through the DRC, and they have to give me the letter saying that this is what you're going to do for person X. So make sure you go through and do that. Here are a copy of all the homework assignments. This is kind of redundant. We have all these things on the class website as well. So there is the syllabus. Look through it. If you have any questions, ask me. I'm going to come back here to the syllabus tab. Yes, I do want to navigate away. And I'm going to click on the schedule. So this schedule should be pretty accurate. It might change a little bit over time, but this should be pretty close to being what we're going to do if it comes up. Come on, you can do it. Okay, here's the schedule. So, big picture. First day of class is going to be Wednesday. We'll go through, do our stuff. The introduction. This introduction is not optional. You need to do this introduction. Okay, this is so that I can start putting names with faces. Now, the online nature of this, some of you guys aren't even going to be on campus, so it's a little bit hard, but I still want to be able to kind of figure out who's who, so I can have associate some faces with names. So come in here, do your introduction. Again, these dates are roughly when I expect you to be done with the homework, so that you can say chapter 2 quiz. Better example, chapter 3. The chapter 3 quiz is going to be September 20th, right? You're going to be so hopefully you are done with chapter 3 homework by this point. You don't need to turn in. You need to turn in when you take the test. So if you sign up for the test, say on Wednesday, then you need to turn in on Wednesday. But I would suggest being done with the homework before you take the quiz, so that you can do well on the quiz. So that it's not. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The first test is going to be this week of September 20th. You can set it up for any day that you want at the testing center, and then so on. So I don't think there's anything tricky about this schedule. It's pretty straightforward. Again, it's all the same information that is here. Oops, sorry. Nope, stop. Here on this website. But I don't know. I just find this PDF file a little easier to look at and to see what's going on. So that's the schedule. Okay. Now, the last thing I think it's the last thing I really want to talk about here on this class is the modules tab. If you click here on the modules tab, this is kind of where things are at. So on every chapter, so chapter 1 again is a really short introduction. So there's an element you can kind of ignore the chapter 1 stuff. But you come into here and say chapter 2, right? There's going to be a link to the PowerPoint file. Now, all the PowerPoint files, these are the ones that I go through and I do the videos with. So you have here, you can click on this. Chapter 2 happens to be a unique one. It has a little video inside it. And so, but there you go. There's the PowerPoint file, right? But on this modules page also, you have a link to this playlist. And this is going to be the key. You come in here, this is going to link you to a YouTube playlist. Now again here, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. This is obviously, I'm logged in as me here. But basically I would just hit play all. You can go through, and then here, welcome to Engineering Mechanics, Chapter 2, Statics. There, I don't know if you're getting this audio, this or not, but here, you know, so here have the video. We're recording a video of the video, which is kind of silly. But there's the idea. You can go through. You can all the videos I do examples. I'm gonna mute this because it's annoying. It looks like on this one there's a couple examples, a little more lecture, and so on. So this is the way it's going to be laid out. Here is the so here's the playlist, and this is going to be how every chapter is. Okay, so it's again now, and also the nature of this is it has to do it in its own window. So it should open its own window. If not, click on the open the own window. So that is the video playlist. It's all on YouTube. And then there's the homework assignments. If you click on this homework assignment, it'll bring you to this. It's the same information. You have the link to the PDF file. That PDF file is also just right here. Here are the solutions. Now, a word on the solutions. The reason I post the solutions is because I know all you guys are going to get access to it anyways. It's just a matter. My thing is I don't want to punish the innocent, right? I know that people who are trying to be nefarious, trying to work around the system, have access to the solutions. So this way, now everyone has access to it. But you need to be smart. This is one of those classes that if you just come in here, right, and you're using these solutions to do the homework, you're going to be coming along here. It's going to take a second for this to load. Okay, here's the first problem. Okay, here's the first problem. You can say, okay, solve this problem by trigonometry. Okay, and you can come here and you can say, okay, here's angles. This, okay, yeah, I get that. You're gonna write it down. You're gonna be good to go. And then you're gonna take the test and you're gonna fail miserably because you don't get it. Make sure you do the homework problem. Put in a good faith effort on your own before you go to the solutions. Now, having said that, I'm all for beating your head against the wall for 20 minutes trying to figure out a problem. There is a point of diminishing returns. I don't personally, if you've been banging your head against the wall for 4, 5, 6 hours on a problem, you're probably not going to get anywhere with that, right? And so everyone is smart enough to know their own limitations. Just be smart. Do what is necessary for you, but I would not go through and spend forever on the quiz. But make sure you spend some time. Spend some time on the homework. That's going to be what's going to help you succeed in this class. Okay, there's also a link to the quiz, which you can go through and get to quizzes here, but you can go straight here to the quiz. And then there's this sample exam. This is, it's not misleading. I'm trying to think of the term. When these sample exams were made, there's an exam for every chapter. So this is kind of a 2-hour test. When you take this class, there's going to be an exam for chapter 2 and chapter 3. So here you have a sample exam for chapter 3, a sample exam for chapter 2. When you take the test in this class, there's going to be one test for both of them. So don't be if you don't get overwhelmed by this is the moral of the story. You can come through and look at it. You'll notice in the sample exams, you have access to the correct answer, I believe, somewhere. Yeah, here you go. You have access to the correct answer. You don't have, quote unquote, the solutions. I'm not going to provide you the solutions because, again, that's what the homework's for, right? These are just like the homework problems. And so if I give you this and I just give you the solutions and you just kind of do the same thing with this sample exam as you did with the homework, again, you're going to go to the test and you're going to be a really rude awakening. So use this as an opportunity to see if you understand how to do the problem. You have the answer. You'll know if you got it right or wrong. And so this is the sample exam. Again, the idea of this exam is technically designed for a 2-hour thing. So this is about twice the exam that you would actually have to take in class. But you can see they're just homework problems again, and that's all I expect on the exams. So as far as the modules go, I think that is pretty indicative of what to expect. There's again the PowerPoint, the playlist, the homework files, the quiz, and then a sample exam, and that goes through all these. And there's one for every chapter. Okay, and I think that's about it. As far as the assignments, on the first assignment, this introduction is due first. Come on. Please do this early on. Again, you'll notice I put in one here. Again, this is not to be creepy, but go through and put a full-size picture, okay? Not just like this little picture. So this picture, I can see who I am because I happen to know who I am, so it's pretty straightforward. But it's amazing. Some people use pictures where there's just a little dot of the person, and I can't tell who it is. Now, again, the idea of this introduction is it's not a dating site. It's not, I like long walks on the beach. This is to give me, quite frankly, a sense of who is in the class, and it gives you guys a sense of, hey, if you want to work in groups on Saturdays and Sundays or something like that, go ahead and post it up here so people can have a sense of who's in the class and what's going on. So that is this introduction. You have access to quizzes, grades, chat, same idea, and I think that's it. Every once in a while, I'll update this front page with different things that we're doing, but in general, this is what it's going to be looking like. So I'm looking forward to this semester. Statics, it's a good class. It's a tough class. It's going to be, for a lot of people, it's going to be their first core engineering class. It's a little bit challenging. This is I remember as an undergrad, this was kind of my first whoa, that's not just It wasn't just a gimme. You actually had to put in some effort and do the work. But when you do it, it's a rewarding class, and again, it's the basis that you build so much other stuff off of. So please take the time, do your homework. You can work in groups, you can work by yourself, do your homework, get comfortable with the homework. That's going to be the key to this class. If you can do the homework, if you can do all the problems and you can do them well, then you should be in good shape. Please come talk to me if you have questions. I'm more than willing to help with this, on any of these, any questions on any of these homework assignments. Um, it's very doable. I I think that you will enjoy it once you get the hang of it, and I'm looking forward to talking to you throughout the semester. Take care.